celebration here in Daley Plaza. Hopefully you're not getting crushed by the vocals. But it looks like there's a bit of a talent show. I think it might be a step show. Or sometimes I hear it called step show, but step show I'm used to having canes. It might be a flag show, I'm not sure. But it's definitely folks celebrating, having some fun. We have some food trucks in the area as well. And now we're gonna kind of head out of the plaza. That music's really loud and I don't know how well this mic is protecting us right now. Howdy Lavender, how are you? So this is something that's somewhat interesting. So that domed building down there, it's called, it used to be called the Thompson Center, or the State of Illinois building. And it used to house some governmental offices, but then also just corporate offices. So it was how corporate people would be close to the city center and the heartbeat of politics here in Chicago. But Google recently purchased that building, and now Google is kind of going through some renovations. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out on that area. Yay, staycations. Howdy Cherokee, how are you today? We're on Clark Street, but we're several blocks north of, so I think we're at 150 North right now. Howdy James, thank you for being a member for a month. Really appreciate the support. Thanks for participation in the chats. It does make this a lot more enjoyable when we're getting participation. Howdy Fuzzy, howdy Lady E. You know, sorry I came in early, but just was a little bit antsy. I was in the Daley Plaza. Looked like they're having a bit of a celebration or talent show there, so hopefully we got to see that. I think I've been getting texts from people that are near the org right now, so I think that we are going to see others while we're down here today. The other thing I'll say is that they were able to look inside of the bodega that we saw this past Sunday that had Way to Happiness flyers in it. And there were Way to Happiness flyers that were on the counter. The thing that was interesting was that the bodega was closed, which is rather unusual. Not sure why that is. It might just be that, hey, the DNC just has so many people not in town right now, or not coming downtown right now, that the bodega just chose not to open today. You know, I think it was last night, not positive, but Phil Jones put out a video, and again, I was an example on it, and I was thrilled and honored. You know, I'm always very, I'm thrilled when former Scientologists will use me as an example in a positive way, and I definitely appreciate that. And he kind of talked about how he got into Scientology, and that he was at a high school seminar that was anti-drug, so it would have been drug-free world that would have been there, and that kind of is what pulled him in. He then encouraged his brother and his sister to join. His sister is still a member in good standing and rather active. She's still an active recruiter, and she works with Drug-Free World, which is one of those front groups. Now remember, when they say Drug-Free World, they're really just trying to say anti-psychiatric medications, right? So, you know, those things that help people keep their minds and their chemicals in check, helping them not to have episodes or mental breaks or mental crisis. That's the kind of thing that Drug-Free World is going to rally against. And as what he was trying to make the point there is that, yeah, while I might not be bringing people out of Scientology, my preventing people from coming in, right? So if we think about it, Phil gets in, and because of Phil, his sister gets in, and because of his sister being an active recruiter, even more people are getting in. So while my primary objective and the thing that I feel most capable of is to prevent people from joining, it's to prevent that chain of people pulling other people in this space. So, it was, I was honored that he called me out in such a positive way. So, and I do believe that, and I need to be reminded of it every once in a while, because there are times where it's like, all I really did was stop one person from entering today, and it's like, no, I stopped a new chain from starting, right? Howdy D. We're a couple of blocks away, so now we're at 200 South, so Adam Street, right? In Chicago, basically where I got off, we would have seen Washington Street, Monroe Street, Madison Street. Now we see Adams, then we'll see Jackson, Van Buren, and Harrison is the top of the block that Scientology is on. We're seeing the post office here. So this is the downtown post office. Seeing police presence pretty heavily, right? Again, I don't know how to say this any more clearly. With the DNC in town, the police presence, both city, local, federal, state, it's noticeably higher than it usually is. It makes perfectly good sense, right? That you've got the top officers in the executive branch here and people seeking to get that office. So it makes perfectly good sense that there should be heightened security here. We have seen some police abuses. I wouldn't, it nowhere near what we've seen in '68, although people like to make the correlation between now and '68. That there have been people that have been illegally searched. There have been people, well, we assume they were illegally searched. We have no understanding of whether or not they allowed for their bags to be searched, but regardless, that there's been some roughing up of protesters. And by the way, I'm not saying that, oh, that's okay, that roughing up is okay. Any abuse by police is 100% wrong, right? What I am saying is that while you might be hearing exaggerated news of the extent of it, it is not something that is prevalent right now. As we keep walking down, right, so these two taller black buildings, these are both federal buildings. One of them is the James Kaczynski building. I don't know what the name of this federal building is, but it's got, when I say federal building, they are offices, or they are buildings which principally house all sorts of federal organizations. So there is an FBI presence, there's a Homeland Security presence, but also other agencies, federal agencies that are here, housing authorities, those types of agencies just the same. As we come up to Van Buren here, you can see the train coming up on top. We're about 2 blocks north of the organization, and we're coming up to the Bodega. As I mentioned earlier, I saw a picture of flyers on the counter here at the Bodega. Howdy, hammock lady. I don't know about the goat, but I do what I can do. So let's peek in here. Yeah, you can definitely see it. I know you'll get some glare here, but on that countertop, you're seeing what, 2 on the left and 4 on the right. That is the Way to Happiness book that's next to the bananas inside of there. But the bodega is not open right now, which again, like I said, is odd. Interesting, I don't understand why, but the bodega is not open. This afternoon, I think I'm going to go over to the other channel and I'm going to go through Union Park. You've been seeing activity in Union Park for DNC, and by the way, that's Wendy Wanders the City. It's not a Scientology related element. I will say that it's been really impressive to see the Scientology auditor, right? DOA has been popping up in a lot of national broadcasts. He keeps on getting Scientology on these national broadcasts, so kudos to him for that. You can tell that it's frustrating the TV broadcasters trying to get him out of frame. The Union Park has a very long legacy here in Chicago. It is it's there named after the Haymarket riots, and the Haymarket riots were again an anti-union element where federal forces were brought in to try to break up a union. The Haymarket market, there was, to the best of my recollection, well, there was a kaboom thing that went off at the market riots. I'm going to be wrong on these numbers, but I'm going to say that the direction is correct. I believe that 6 people were jailed for the accusation of the kaboom that was found, that went off at the Haymarket riots, and that something like 3 or 4 of those that were jailed were sentenced to no longer be alive. And yes, I'm being sensitive to YouTube's algorithm there. There is nobody today who believes that any of those people were guilty. Again, that's not a Scientology topic, but just want to give you a heads up as to what I'll be doing later on this afternoon. And sometimes I have to fill the airtime. I want to remind everybody, let's stay focused, and I know that I just talked about a non-Scientology topic, but it was related to what I was going to do on the other channel. Let's try and stay close to Scientology here today. We're about halfway through the lunch hour, so as we get to the org, now if there are other protesters there, whether or not they're streaming, if they held their camera up to the phone or up to the window, Scientology most likely did close the window. Not seeing too much activity here. Heligear has also been over at DNC. She did plan on being there quite a bit this week. When she came into town, I think that I first saw her on Saturday this week. She had a big duffel bag. There was gonna be some camping being done by her. She planned on being down here for most of the week. And she was here really to protest the DNC, or protest at the DNC, or at least observe, take in the DNC element. Waiting here we got about 15 seconds before we cross. I can see that the door is open right now. And it just so happens, right, that their door, it does, when it's open, it laps onto the sidewalk just a little bit. Now, it's possible that they have a sandwich board sign. It looks like that sandwich board sign is theirs, and they're not supposed to have it on the sidewalk. They don't pay the permit in order for them to advertise. And even though it's a church, they can't advertise that for freely with a sandwich board. I do see we have WanderingNana up ahead of us. She's got an awesome sign there talking about breaking news. Oh, what I was seeing was sort of like theater barrier guards for Columbia College. So they're, for the most part, trying to direct people to one of the doors rather than the other door, and it looks like there might be some construction going on there. Yes, because there's very sparky things coming off of his tool. Yeah?
I set the new record.
Nice.
No,
Oh.
no. 9 minutes and 26 seconds and they wouldn't shut the shades.
Wow.
They saw you coming down the street. Boom. They started shutting it down.
You know what? We need to be able to get them to understand that any camera here is offensive to them.
Yeah,
Let me just look in real quick and make sure there's nobody. Right, we see, oh,
They're getting a huge delivery.
yeah.
Looks like perfect.
So the back door is open. You can see all the way through right now. You see the fence back there. All right. I did see the custodian, and we saw another staff member. So that person that we saw was not a public or a curious, interested party. We are here with WanderingNana. Let's see, are they going to... They're going to leave. So the females don't seem to close the door. The males seem to close the door.
Yeah,
and again, I'm not saying there's a sexual orientation as to why you would, but you know, historically they don't. So we've got a sign
Yes.
for WanderingNana. Excellent.
Except for I realized that I don't think they can watch the news, can they?
They're probably not watching the news.
No.
Yeah, it's too dangerous.
That's what I mean.
To
I don't think they're allowed to
that.
watch the news.
And I don't think it's necessarily Scientology they would see, but the idea that the world is not falling to pieces
Yeah,
is something that,
yeah.
you know, their expectation is that
Yeah.
the only place that's safe in this universe is inside of these
the
four
building.
walls, right? So, excellent. I'm going to go ahead and scoot around back. Oh, we've got somebody heading out to lunch. Now, I will say that we are at lunchtime, so you're going to see a flurry of people.
Well, I was sitting down on a bench over there, and 6 of them walked by
Yeah.
me, but nobody recognized me. So, you know, I'm good undercover.
Nice. We like you.
Apparently, they don't know me.
Nice. All right, I'll be back shortly.
All right.
So not sure if you heard Neverin as I was approaching, and she said that she was out here for 9 minutes and nobody had done anything in regards to the blinds, so they weren't doing that. Now, I'm going to encourage her to, hey, if you walk up to the window and just hold your phone up vertically, they'll close those blinds. If you just stand out there, you know, maybe they don't notice it, because remember, the admin assistant who's there to receive you as you walk in, she sits at a desk. Unless you're up in the window, she probably isn't seeing you. Now, she does have access to the cameras, so there's probably a bank of several monitors that they've got the 4 cameras on the outside, but they've also probably got tons of cameras inside as well on there. But she had said that, and this, you know, again, I feel very prideful when this occurs, that for 9 minutes they didn't do anything. As soon as I started walking up, here come the blinds, right? We've seen that before, where the doors will stay open until I show up, and then I show up and they'll close the doors. Folks, I am not the second coming. I am nobody. I'm just persistent and recognizable, and they know that I am going to challenge the minds and ears of their members and the public that come in here. Don't worry, Cherokee. Most of us can speak typo. So what we're seeing here is they've got a FedEx delivery that's coming in. No idea what this would be. It could, again, anything. It could be coming from another org. It could be coming from a publishing house. They could be getting their food deliveries via FedEx instead of an Amazon or something like that. Any number of reasons why they're getting a FedEx delivery. Howdy, MD Media. MD Media is an incredibly good promoter of many of the channels. He'll oftentimes post when people are live. He's often sharing out other people's streams. Always appreciated. So they've got a tight fit there with the garbage cans. Let's see if the back door is still open. Yeah, as I came around back, right, we got to finish it up. Now, they were probably naturally finishing up anyhow, but we get back here and nothing's there. You know, the pallet doesn't necessarily mean that it was heavy or anything of that nature. It's just put in a lot of bulk, but definitely there was a lot of stuff that came off that truck because there's one pallet broken down and a lot of framing that would have supported something else. No idea what that something else is that they would have been supporting. While we're back here, we'll go over to the garbage cans. Howdy, Traveling Panda. DT, yeah, and again, I was very happy that he was out here protesting, and I still think that he's an effective protester, and he brings an awful lot of eyeballs to the anti-Scientology movement and the idea that children can't consent. And I've said a million times, lots of cardboard. This again is kitchen trash that I'm seeing snack labels like cookie. It looks like that blue bag is a cookie bag that I recognize. And this goes for anybody. And yesterday I said, if David Miscavige came here and decided he wanted to protest, I'd stand next to David Miscavige, right? If you want to stand here and give this church a hard time, and I said church, you understand that when I say church, I know it's a cult. I'm happy to stand with anybody that wants to protest. You know, the other one that, you know, it's, I liked the call out that we had a couple of days ago. Oh no, Nora had mentioned that right when the protesters come out and they can get these blinds shut, it's anti-policy. It is against every L. Ron Hubbard policy. They need to promote. They're supposed to publicize. Why do you build a massive hundreds of $million building that's in the retail nexus of the city and then choose to hide from the public? Something else that I recall, and I'll always say it wrong, is that my understanding is that hiding is down the tone scale or down tone on the scale or down on the tone scale, but hiding is never something that you're supposed to be doing in Scientology, right? We're here to save the world. We've got to be out showing the world that we can save the world. I'm reading the Davy elements. I did like that. I like Davy Mafiosa. I do have my business cards with today. Right. So the one side is showing you mostly Xenu.net and generally some dangers about Scientology. On the other side, there's a few more specific elements about Scientology and that scan code, which is going to take you to the website. And that website it has several articles about the abuses of Scientology, right? Lisa McPherson, Ellie Parkin, Serge Delmar, Miriam Francis, Rosemary Chickwack. So somebody did just come out, and I know that talking with WanderingNana. How you doing? Can I hand you something, sir? Can I show you some of the crimes of that church? If you look this up, you'll be able to find all of the crimes that this church commits.
I remember my dad used to be radio, and they just said he did radio for TNT. My mom said that I can't remember. They found out some good girls and stuff, but it was still new and unknown. And my thing is, when it comes to anything,
Yep.
I try to learn about
I have no problem. And I will say that you'll get a better education about what's going on by looking, if you go to the scan code on this side, you'll see articles about how they killed Lisa McPherson, about how they allowed this child to be in an auditing room with adults who were telling the most perverse things. There was in their auditing room, they had a massage table. That doesn't make sense. This person was elder abused. So you'll see an article on that. You'll see an article about the Chase wave. So Chase will not give anybody in this organization a credit card ever again because they exploited all of their members to do that. So just be very, very careful. All right? He was very, very soft-spoken. I'm sure you didn't hear anything we said. He was curious. He just wanted to have an open mind and talk about it. I asked him if he would just take the card so that he would get more information in regards to what was going on there. He did take the card. I will say that his eyes were widening, as I would express, the Lisa McPherson story, the Rosemary Chickwek, Serge Delmar, and the Chase wave. So.
They came out to try to go back in.
Nice.
But he got to there and saw you standing there.
Oh.
He went back in, and then all of a sudden he got enough energy to come back out and walk past you guys. But
Nice.
sorry, you can't see for them. Wendy's got him already.
And they won't. Were they out here when I was talking to him, or was it before I got up here?
No. When I don't know how they saw it, but
Yeah.
they might have seen him talking to me. And
Yeah.
when he came out, he went to about there.
Yeah.
And saw you talking to him down the street, and went back in, thought for a minute, and then came back out and went around you guys.
Oh, I didn't even see the Scientologist go past me. Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw
yeah,
the Custodian.
Oh,
I know
is
who
that
you're
the
talking about. I did
Custodian?
see him.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm not overly concerned.
Okay.
How are you doing? We're protesting this church. And it's a cult. It's the cult of Scientology. They're involved in human trafficking, child abuse, fraud. Yes. Can I give you a piece of something to look at? So they're going to say they're a nice church, right, as everybody does. If you go in there, you're going to find out that they're very big fans of mental abuse. So this person died at their hands. This person was a child who used to be in this church, and he would have to talk to adults who would audit like confession in church. They would tell him perverse things. He could not leave the room. This person had elder abuse against her, so they took her monies and her financial elements, false Medicare, and then you've got the Chase wave. Those are just some of the issues with this church.
And they're doing human trafficking?
They do human trafficking. So what happened, you'll hear an awful lot of people that have foreign accents in here, and what they're doing is they're coming over on religious visas, and then their passports get locked up, so there's no way they can get out of here. The other way that they do human trafficking is, like that child, Serge Delmar, his parents weren't at the same place he was. When they wanted him to be moved to a different building, they move him to a different building. The parents have no consent, no care or concern in that process.
I completely agree.
So.
I know what you're talking about.
All right. And I just want people to be, I don't want anybody to think that this is in any way safe. Right?
We are victims.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Victims.
Yep. Thank you. Yay, good. No, they were very surprised. Like they believed what I said, and her final statements were, "Yeah, we are victims here." Right? I said, "Listen, I don't want anybody to ever think that this is a safe organization." So.
Wow.
All right, let me scan back up here. I'm going to go around back. You're going to be here for a bit.
Yeah.
Right? Do you have a time frame today, or?
I don't even know what time it is.
Okay.
That's what happens.
It's 20 to 1. So they're still going to be coming back.
Yeah.
But afterwards, if you can hang around a little bit, that way if they try to send people out, like what they've started doing now is Chad lives here, and
Oh, they're going out the
they'll
back
go out the
door.
back door. So, all right.
Yes,
But
sir.
I'm going to go to the back door and see if we can find anything. All right, folks, I'm going to walk slowly. We're going to head back up to the back door. Again, I think that we had two very successful interactions just now. Right, we had the young man coming out that he had a Way to Happiness as well as a Dianetics flyer. I'm sorry, it was Scientology TV, the DirecTV Scientology flyer. And I think on the back of that one there might be a personality test. I just didn't see it very closely. I definitely saw the Way to Happiness. He came out, I tried to give him some information. He was very, very soft-spoken, so I couldn't really hear what he was saying other than he wanted to have an open mind and he wanted to talk to him. And I said, well, if you want to have an open mind, and I handed him the card and let him know that here's some other places to do some research. The thing that I really liked about that, and again, it's stupid, prideful stuff, and it makes me feel happy or good, whatever you want to say, when Never and Nana said, hey, when they saw you talking with the person, they gave you a very wide berth. So again, they just can't, you can't handle the truth. Boy, how many Tom Cruise movies can we create quotes from? And then the other two women that came by, again, one of the things that I love about people that have signs, or right when we had Korn, DOA, Never in costumes, it slows people down and it gets their attention. It's like a carnival barker, right? I just want to kind of look out here. Yeah, there's nothing going on here. He's just trying to get down the alley. That's a restaurant. So Cisco is food service. Yes. Darn it, what was I going to say? Traveling Panda, I really appreciate that. Elron Hub Cult, thank you. Yeah, my address. The other one is right, target rich environment. Well, it's something that I've always said about here, because of where they're at, and if we look ahead of me, right, you see that very large building with the windows that's kind of at the T intersection ahead of us. You can only be a resident there if you're a member of one of the surrounding universities. So that's not a dorm for any specific university, but in order to get residence there, you need to go to DePaul or Roosevelt or Columbia or East-West University. There might be a couple other universities there, but you need to be a university student in order to be a resident in that spot. There's a high school over here. We've seen them at the high school. We've seen them blocks away from this organization. We've seen them as far north as Wrigleyville for Cubs games. Again, it makes perfectly good sense, right, that there'd be an awful lot of people in the area. So it's a great opportunity for them. On Easter, if my memory serves me correctly, we had people saying that they were seeing flyers out in Chatham, which is fairly far out. So those are, and also it's a socially economically deprived neighborhood. So they do whatever they can to promote this and bring people in. And at these lowest levels, it sounds like a friendly organization, right? We're here to save the world, way to happiness, how to feel better about yourself, the ups and downs of the world. None of these are anything but common sense materials, right? I'll even tell you that Dale Carnegie is mostly common sense, but he was smart enough to write it, right? Let's walk down Dearborn, see if I can get in the shade a little bit. Oh, you know what? Something I was saying. Howdy, Pinche. One of the things that I was saying about the idea that if you have a sign here, if you have a costume here, it slows people down and it stops them to the point where it's easier to ask the question or to engage them in a conversation. So if they're just walking by at full walking pace, I don't think it's my right, privilege, responsibility to slow them down. If they're going to walk past, great, they're going to walk past. But whenever anybody looks at a sign or slows down to stop at the org's board or the door or the sign, that's when I take the opportunity to talk to them and ask them if they understand what it is. And usually it'll be an education similar to what we saw earlier today here, right? So, and I also have said that while I do have a couple of signs, I struggle when I've got the signs because I've got to worry about other things and it's harder for me to be mobile, right? There's times where you've seen me, I've got to run to catch up to something or to someone. If I'm seeing interaction or if I'm seeing somebody out there having just received a flyer and I'm not, if I'm a block away, yeah, I need to run. And I don't want to have the burden of trying to collect my signs and all of that, right? It's one of the reasons why I don't bring a tripod. I have a tripod and several times I've had a tripod out here, but I keep it in the backpack just because I feel more effective when I'm mobile. I could be absolutely wrong about that. But that's just the way that I feel most comfortable being out here. All right. There was a lot of garbage for me. How's everybody doing today? Kind of going back through the chat there. Right. Yesterday, if you would have seen, I caught, was it yesterday? Might have been 2 days ago. Again, time is ephemeral. I do want to look and see if, I'm just looking in here, this is Tara's, and I'm getting word that they're rather pro-Scientology, or they will say that some of their best friends are in Scientology. At this point, that's just rumor and innuendo. I do want to see if I can find flyers in there someday, go in there and challenge them a bit about that process. Anyhow, I had Chadwick was out, Chad Olson was out trying to do handing out flyers. I was able to intercept him. He came back to the org, and on his way back, right, a couple of times, and I flood Natalie with so many clips. Some days are pretty productive that she can only put a few things on, right? It's not the Windy channel, it's the Scientology after the cult, right? But I was able to kind of challenge him saying, hey, if you believe in your technology, try and hand one of those out, right? If you believe in the tech, hand it off. You should win, right? You're armed, you're equipped with more information than I am. You have all of the knowledge, you have all of the communication skills. You should be able to refute anything I say. And yet, none of them has ever taken me up on that opportunity. Only one time did Curly kind of hang around, but he hung around just to record me so that he could, I think that he was trying to get, I don't think he understands English as fast as I speak English. So I think he was filming so that he could get a translation from someone else. But they have zero confidence in their tech, right? I do a lot of data science. We talk about the confidence interval, right? What is, here's a possible outcome. Now, what is our confidence that we've got the right percentage on that outcome? And their confidence is incredibly low. It looks like we're engaging somebody else. Now, that might be Juanita. Oh no, I see. I think it's a public, and she's never ends having a conversation there. Let's see if I can at least get you zoomed in up there. So, oh, now I see it on camera. I think it is Juanita. And we are following, I didn't realize this, we're following a Scientologist, right? This is the Scientologist that she had the food cart on Saturday or Sunday when they were doing the potluck lunch. And when I told her it was a cult, the woman in the blue dress getting out of the car kind of lost it a little bit. Like, excuse me? And didn't want to believe that what she had gotten involved in was such a dangerous cult. So. You know, it's a cult. Are you okay that women can't report crimes against them in this cult?
Well, they're not going to come because they invited me in.
Nice.
They keep me to consider you have your way.
Did you get my text about the bodega?
I did, and I walked past there as well, and I did see that, yes, they are in there.
Yeah.
I can't, when you send me messages that way, I can't reply. Oh, but it's strange because it's actually my phone number at T-Mobile that you're sending it to. Oh, I wonder if they're doing, I'll give you my phone number.
Okay. Because it's like, I find things are like today, you know,
Yep.
they're like coming down.
Yeah, I didn't know when my manager said, oh, the one from this side, you want to go to the downtown. Like, okay, let me check. Oh, I'm going to pass now. I haven't been here for a little while.
All right.
When I see you, get there.
Be careful.
Go to
Stay
work.
safe.
Take care.
We'll see ya.
Kasi I get another invitation.
They were giving her movie tickets.
Nice. Can you speak Spanish too?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought that you were speaking Spanish, right? Or Spanish. Okay. It's like, wow.
Sometimes.
Did they give her the ticket right here?
No,
Or,
up there.
okay.
I think.
Oh, well, now I want to go
Not
find out
today,
where.
though.
Oh,
No,
okay,
not
okay.
today. It was, another time when she was there. I think she said she might have went live with it, so it might be on her site.
Very nice. I like that.
But yeah, I saw those pamphlets in there because, you know, I get off right there. So when I looked in the window, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I wish that there was a way that I can go in there. Like I said, I don't know why they were missing, because when I went back that afternoon,
Yeah,
didn't
there
see them.
wasn't any.
And it could be that they were consumed, right? That, you know, this person had a way to happiness. Did
Yeah.
they go in with it or did they come out with it? We
Right,
don't know, right? Yep, we've got some Scientologists heading up. So, as you saw Juanita walk away, sorry, I want to go back to Merzi. I will talk about that in a moment. I do think that she listened, right? That's the best I can say. Right. We get to plant the seed. That's all we get to do. Are you okay that there are no Scientologists here in this organization since opening 6 months ago, right?
And you watch the news. I think, what, it's not by,
Chadwick?
oh, that sounds like an accident. No, not Scooter Guy. Who's the other?
The two skateboard kids? Yeah, the young
Yeah,
one and the older?
Burnett.
Okay, gotcha.
Plain clothes.
All right.
You know, they didn't have anything.
I'm trying to figure out what lets you come one day in a uniform and what lets you come one day
Not.
in civilian clothing.
Right? Yeah, unless
Right.
they're going out to.
Yeah. And by the way, I didn't say it, but Karen, thank you so much again. I know that you've been a member before, so I'm assuming that's a re-up, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, this guy's the janitor.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, it's kind of funny the way that shirt looks. That it looks like doesn't it look like a white?
Yeah, exactly.
So this is the custodial uniform. that he's oftentimes doing that. But we were just noticing that with the open collar at the top, it has almost the look of a priest's frock with the little white collar up there. What have you done to save the world today? What has Scientology done to save the world today? We have a lot of interested people.
It sounds
Yeah. And then we've got another one coming up here. She might try to knock at the door. This was yesterday. She walked behind me. So watch this.
Oh, yeah.
She's gonna walk behind me. No, you can't. Don't do that because you'll block her way. Look, she's gonna walk behind me. And then right in.
last night? Are you allowed to watch the news? Ooh, different door. Okay.
So the idea that I don't know what the game is there
Yeah.
about walking behind me, but yesterday she did the same thing.
Well, I was up against the pole, so if I was blocking her, there would be a problem.
And it's not, so I would say that it just looks like a stupid behavior because she's not going to stay off camera by doing that.
No.
Are you okay that you're in a human trafficking cult? Are you okay that women can't report crimes against them when they're sexually abused by members of the church? Why is Danny Masterson still a member in good standing? Do you know what this is?
No, I always heard about it.
Okay.
Yeah, stay away.
So it's Scientology, and I know you've got your hands full, but I'll try and hand it to you. They claim to be a church. They're nothing but a cult. And if you look here, so this is mental abuse. So this person died at their hands. She was in an accident. She had a mental breakdown in the street. The EMTs took her to the hospital. The Scientologist went to the hospital, talked her into leaving against medical conditions. She was locked up in a room for 17 days and bound. She died by the time they got back to the hospital. This one is child abuse because of his auditing. If you go to this scan code, you'll see plenty of articles on this. Anything positive to share about your church? And they're not allowed to talk about their church. So, yeah.
Is this the one Tom Cruise?
Yes.
Oh, I heard.
Yeah.
That's what
Yep.
it is.
Yeah.
You Christian?
I will say that I'm not necessarily religious or not religious. I'm an ordained minister. So, hey Chad, how you doing today? So I don't ever want people to think that this is a religious element that I'm battling against. I care about their crimes. I don't care about their beliefs.
One day I went past here, there was a Muslim lady here.
Yeah. Anything positive to share about the church? Are you okay that women can't report sexual abuse against them in this church? Why is Danny Masterson still a member in good standing? He's in jail for 30 years to life. Yep. Sorry, you were saying?
One day I walked by, it was a Muslim lady.
Yep.
A black Muslim lady.
So
She
NOI,
said, hey, we partnered with them. And
yeah,
Hey, what?
Nation of Islam, and
Yeah.
they are together because Farrakhan, right? Farrakhan,
That's what she said.
he read Dianetics' book, and by the way, the book, it has, so their lower levels, he usurped a lot of other people's information. So it's common sense. It's Western philosophy, it's Eastern philosophy, Muslim, Buddhist, all of that is part of what he then says, I built this. Right, yeah. Scientology won't, but NOI will, right?
Wow.
So, and it's really strange because L. Ron Hubbard, one of the most racist people in the world, and not just black people, but I don't want to say so Asian people, right? That he would say Asian people can't take care of themselves. It's only if white people go there to help them that you can fix this. And then how do you get the Nation of Islam to part with? They're
I
both
know,
two
I saw
dying
that.
factions.
That's what I thought this was until you told me that.
Uh,
She was trying to get me to come in. Somebody said, don't go in there.
good.
Right.
I'm proud of that.
Thank you.
You have a great day.
We have a fan club.
I know. I know. We're having a good day.
I think so. Except for this timing was like impeccable. There was like 8 of them.
Yeah. One of those was the shaved one was a cicala. That's one of the cicala boys.
Oh.
I don't know if he's ED or if he's, again, I don't know if I've ever seen a face of each one of them individually. I've only seen them collectively. Anything positive to share with the audience about your church? Is there anything positive about your cult? Anything positive about your cult? Explain to me the freedom that you have when you can't read anything.
Watch the news last night? Are you allowed to watch the news?
Yeah. Oh, it's just now 1 o'clock, so they're in by the hair on their chinny chin chin.
Make it faster.
Yeah.
The suppressors are up. Are they done loading in the back or unloading?
They were. So, and by the time I got back there, the back door was closed. It was something big because there are two big pallets.
2 big pallets and a whole roll of what looked like carpet.
Okay. So I wonder, yeah, if they're remodeling something else there.
But
Yeah.
they just finished it.
And part of it might be, I wonder if not Scientology, NOI is trying to like sublet space, or if there's something there that they might say, hey, can we remodel this a little bit to be a little bit more Muslim?
For us.
Yeah. And by the way, I have nothing against Islam and Muslims. I will say that I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that NOI is, the Muslims and the Islamic people will disavow themselves of Nation of Islam. It is 100% a cult in regards to what it does, and it does not practice the principles of fundamental Muslim Islam elements. And as I tried to explain to that person, I am not a religious bigot. I do have a religious belief. This is not a religious battle that I have with this. It's the crimes, right? I don't care about their beliefs. I care about their crimes. Howdy, Dusty. Dusty, can you show us your OSA card? Yeah. Yeah, Helgear, definitely subscribe to her. One thing is she now going to go bilingual, or is she still saying all Spanish on her channel? I know that she,
Juanita?
yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, did I just say Helgear?
Yeah.
Sorry, I meant to say
why I
Juanita.
looked at you funny.
I meant to say Juanita. Juanita, I think that originally she was going to do all Spanish,
Right.
but she might be doing both, where she'll translate back and forth on that. Helger, you habla. If you habla, you're fine.
There's only one phrase we need to know, right?
Yep. You might as well turn around. You know you're not going to pass any of those out, right?
Oh, go. I got
All right.
it.
So we've seen this gentleman plenty of times. I feel poorly for him today. It's not the hottest. It's cooler than it was the last couple of days. He's getting his text. If you were a free thinker, you wouldn't have to do what they told you inside, right? So he and Chadwick will have, I don't know why, but they've started doing the let me stop in place for a little while. Howdy, Anna from Canada. So we've just caught a body router leaving the organization. I let him know that, by the way, you're not going to be able to hand any of those off. If there are people watching both channels, I don't even know if, Never might not be live, but she'll probably email me if so. I just want to see if this is a luring tactic, right? Because we definitely saw a lot of people in the org. So just for the police, when you review the tape, you'll notice that I'm giving a great deal of distance. I don't care one spit about the person. I care about the flyers and the propaganda that he's got. He has a First Amendment right to pass those flyers out. I have a First Amendment right to educate the people that receive that. And I am only here to make sure that he cannot pass one of those off without me helping those people understand the cult of Scientology and understanding the propaganda they just received. He might do the walking up and down into the train station. So everybody can see, right? You can see the handful of flyers that he's got there. Yeah.
I'll be straight. I've been on the streets, but I was asking if you could stay like that.
I don't have any cash with me. I apologize. We'll see if he tries to engage the police, right? That many Scientologists have, in their past, attempted to engage the police. Hey guys. Yeah, I can see his shadow. So, right, he's going to walk down into the train station. I'm going to tell you that it really is random. I don't know if it's that the network keeps on turning it on and off, or I keep on getting restricted in and out. I'll go ahead and walk down. I do have my body camera with me, and it is on. Howdy. I think that he walked up the other side. Sorry. Karen, I assure you that I've right, and I do have, like I said, the body camera gives me a 180 field of vision. I will not approach a Scientologist. You'll notice that when we went around the corner, I gave it a rather wide berth. Now I'm kind of looking at all four corners. So just to give you, I'm going to squeeze down a little bit. So there are 4 tunnels here, right? That you could walk up where we went down. Howdy. You can walk up where we went down. He can come up across the street in either one of these 2. Or he can walk up on the other one. Now, he's probably standing in the middle. You know, again, I have to guess a lot when I'm doing this. But he'll be easy to find as well. So if he slips away for a couple of blocks or something like that, he'll be easy to find. I will tell you that another possibility was he very quickly ran across the street. Like when he got to the bottom of these stairs, he might have hoofed it to get over to the other side so that he could come up when I was going down these stairs. And you're right, to the earlier statement, right? I have to kind of give some space, right? Go ahead and So I'm looking back, right? I'll peek down these 2 stairs, but then I'm going to walk around the block. He might be trying to get over to the train station. So there is a big train station here. Howdy. He personally can't be watching me, but it's possible that OSA or a DSA or some OSA element inside of the Chicago org or either of the 2 land bases could be watching Scientology or could be watching this and trying to convey to him. But again, there'll be a lag on that, right? They're only seeing it 10 seconds later, and they've got to text the message. Howdy, Greg. Howdy, Mama Opal. So far today, we've been able to interact with a few people. One was walking out of the cult of Scientology, and as they were walking out, I was able to give them the card, and they said, hey, they were just interested and wanted to have an open mind. I gave them the card that sends them to the website so that they can get more education about it. And if they truly had an open mind, great. I feel confident in the truth. I'm sorry about that, folks. Yeah, so he's not over here. Yes. Opal, if you're talking about the faux OSA list, I think I made up another one yesterday, so that's fine. So right now I have eyes on all 4 of the train station. You know, right? He went downstairs into the train. He also might have gone down onto the platform, and I don't really care if he went onto the platform. Yes, it is close by, but I will see those people with flyer in hand. One thing that we've seen, and again, it's because of the DNC being here, this plaza, it's usually an area you can walk through. It's mostly blocked off right now, so when he came over here, if he came over here, he would have had to turn left or right. Now, there could be other reasons, right? He could have come out just to get me away from the front because they need a VIP to come out the front door. Yeah, I'm seeing nothing down either side. Let's go past the bodega, and then we'll head back over to the org, see if Everhin saw anything that might be helpful. Howdy, Kirby's mom. So far today, we've found Way to Happiness flyers in this bodega right here. However, the bodega is not open. If you look in there, right on the counter, you can see there's the 6 Way to Happiness flyers, 7 Way to Happiness flyers, because one of them's kind of leaning backwards. So it must have been late last night that they were able to put those in there. we've been able to contact 3 different people. Well, one of them was a pair of people walking by. Somebody walked out of the org. We were able to talk to them. We were able to talk to 2 ladies that were walking by and explain to them why we were out there and what the cult of Scientology was all about. I was able to give them my card, able to share with them just a subset of the crimes, right? Lisa McPherson and Serge Del Mar. We were also able to talk to another black male, and he had said he had been enticed in, and I'm going to go with Asada, or there's another black female that wears a headdress quite frequently. Yeah, I think that DOA was active yesterday. I don't really like him, the driving around town elements, but when he's able to get word out about the Church of Scientology on 3 national networks, that's good, right? Again, it's bringing eyes to the space. I hope you understand that what I just said is I commend the activity and the action that was taking place, right? I commend anybody who's out protesting. So he might be down on the platform. What I kind of want to do is I'll hang out in this area a little bit to see when the next train comes. The trains are about every 10 minutes, and just see if I can see anybody coming up with that. The immigration court looks to be closed today, right? So there seems to be signs there. Yeah, so they're going to be closed until August 23rd. All right, let's head back to the org. We'll see if there is any information there. Agreed, Amy, right? Just put your name on the list, and that is one of the best ways that they were able to expunge the Jewish population. But we'll stay focused on Scientology today. Now, they might have tried to send others out as well. See you, Mama Opal. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. We're heading back to the org. Ooh, studying. None of that sounds fun. Now, another one he might have done is he might have gone down to the train so that he could pop up somewhere else in the city, right? Whether it be, and that I wouldn't be able to guess, right? Did he go over west towards the University of Illinois Chicago, or did he go east and head into the to the city center? Any chance he came back? Anybody else come out? So yeah, I don't think they were leaving away. He went into the subway. I think he went downstairs. If he's on the platform, I don't really care because, there we have Jessica. Jessica's the most stylish.
Yeah, I saw her over
Yes.
Orchid. Face to face. She actually smiled at me.
No matter how pretty she looks, don't ever talk to her. She's very dangerous. He went downstairs, so if he passes flyers out, they'll have to come past us up here. The other thing he might have done is he might have just gotten on the train and gone 2 stops one way or the other just to kind of get out of the
I
zone.
think the next time we should plan maybe a zone defense.
Yes.
Where I'm pattern and go that way. And
Agreed. I like it.
because I'm not sure if, he was like, let's drop him away while the other 5 get out.
Yes. I will tell you that at first I thought, hey, if anybody has you on stream, but you're not streaming, right? You're just
No, I'm just
yeah.
video.
So, but if you do see something, try and email me again,
Right.
and then it'll
Yeah,
show
I
up there.
haven't seen anything,
So.
not even, I've
Howdy,
been
Adam.
watching this one.
I assume they were in Paisans having lunch.
I don't think so. It seems like they're going from business to business.
Okay.
But they skipped Columbia and Scientology.
Columbia looks semi-closed today. I don't know what's going on there. Like, what's the construction going on there?
Yeah, I don't know. But both of those, they didn't go
Yeah.
in. And I was wondering if...
And it's very possible, right, that there might be calls going in, hey, there's these people out on the street, but again,
I
we've
don't
given
think
no...
so. I think they're just
Yeah.
maybe heads up for the night, right?
Right.
We're letting you know this is happening or that's happening.
Yeah.
It seems like that's more another motorcade.
Yeah. I definitely have seen a lot of those, but I can't tell, is it a motorcade going to pick up another person? But that's a lot of black SUVs. Those are,
It is still going.
there are important people in that motorcade.
And that was a parade.
So we're watching a motorcade up the street here. Yeah. Now you can see Jessica, when she left here, she went across the street and she's walking up the other side of the street. Sorry, when I zoom in, I've got you guys way above high level. But you can see, right, the white sleeves and the black body mask. That's Jessica. She'll probably head into Imprint. Yep, so she just went into the apartment. It might have, yeah.
These are waiting around. I'm guessing they didn't pay.
It's here. You know what I might do is go up to like Jackson Street to see if he got off there.
Which
Just
one is it? What do we got?
122.
I want to get out of here before all.
Oh yeah, I hear you.
Because I've got to take the, well, you do too. but
Yeah.
The public, we got to take the public.
All right. And again, if you,
It starts at 4.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that. I might go on Windy Wanderers and head over. I want to go to Union Park, but I do not want to hang around for a bit. I want to kind of just survey it, do a little bit of information. My expectation is it doesn't start heightened; it becomes heightened.
Yes, but I think it's just, from day to day, it's going.
It starts
progressively-
higher every day.
Yeah. And, they're starting at the same place every day
Yeah.
to where.
All right, is it Union Park again? Okay. Cool. All right. If you see anything, go ahead and text me or email me. All right.
Yeah, I'm
That- we're fine.
10 more minutes left.
All good. Yep. Thank you.
I don't look like that.
So Neverin's going to hang out here. I am. I'm going to take a walk up to the next train station. Folks, if you're in, please check your subscribe status. Every once in a while, YouTube will unsubscribe you if you haven't been interactive for a while or if you haven't been on the channel for a while. So please check that. Like if you can, and actually if you liked it. If you don't like it, hit the thumbs down twice to show them how much you don't like them. Or as Natalie says, if you really want to piss off Osa, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We're going to walk up to the next blue line stop. I just want to see if we can catch where he might have gone, tried to escape to. Again, you're seeing DHS just everywhere. I'll go ahead and cross over there. The gentleman should be easy to find if I pick right. Now, I'm telling you right, I'm rolling dice right now. I hope you all understand that. I am not clear. I do not have perfect recall. And except for the idea that I can only make Scientologists walk away from me, I don't truly have cause over messed. Folks, I don't know if you know, maybe I get more fun out of this than others, but when I'm able to talk to somebody and I can tell they're listening to me, I feel comfortable and confident that the truth and the facts that we have against Scientology and their behaviors will win out. When I'm able to take a flyer off of somebody, knowing how much it pisses off Scientology, yeah, I get a little bit giddy, right? There's no shame in having fun disrupting the cult of Scientology. You've seen this before, but right, we'll see the Chicago Library again. We're going to walk a couple of blocks up to Dearborn and Jackson. So, right, Dearborn is the one block over. Jackson is 2 blocks up from us right here. Sorry, whenever I see paper on the ground, I want to kind of look at it to see, is it a front group or is it Scientology that's there? Yeah, that's, you know, that is a good question, Ann Fuzz, and it's usually the younger ones that I will sometimes ask that question of. And just, you know, a reminder, and I know that the people that are in the audience a lot know this, but I have to think really fast on my feet because I only get very brief moments of talking to these people, right? They're going to try to fly by me as quickly as possible. So while it's a great question, I have to get comfortable and normalize that as one of the questions that I ask. Great news, Helly. I'll bet you're getting your steps in this week. So we're seeing Homeland Security, right? They're coming out of the building right here. This, again, is one of the federal buildings. See you, Lori. Up on the corner right, you can see the police officers on bicycles. That's kind of common. Now, it is odd. They do run in swarms or packs, however you want to call it. Thank you, Traveling Panda. I'm in talks with Phil Jones. I want to see if kind of we can get a conversation, a live conversation. Yep, DOA was on the national news. They were definitely frustrated, but I will say that you could clearly hear. Now, I didn't see the national news's version of it, right? I didn't watch it on the networks, but he 100% did get to say Scientology abuses children and Scientology is a cult. As a behavior, I 100% condone that, right? So this ahead of me is kind of the Jackson exit is in the middle of this street. It's between Jackson and Adams. This again is the Kaczynski building, so this is another federal building. Now, there's part of my thinking is that when these Scientologists get far away from the organization, like right here, this to me was an incredibly pleasant walk. There is a large amount of the population who does not want to walk as far as I just walked. So I'm slightly less concerned when I see Scientology handing out flyers farther and farther away from the org. Now, I want to get them all, right? I want to say right now, I want to get them all. I don't think that any of them are safe, but the diminishing returns of them handing out flyers this far away, it's rather low, right? We'll walk down Dearborn. We'll head all the way down to the Dearborn station, and then come back to the org. What we might get here is if Never In does leave. If Never In does leave, then they might be bold enough to put the blinds up. And you know what that means. I'm a big fan of days when we get to pull the blinds twice. And by the way, Never In got the blinds down. I merely got an assist today. Oh, this is interesting. So this is another federal building, and look at the gated cage around that. So you have to go around a cage even to get to the doors to get into that building. We're walking down along the Monadnock building. Remember, Optimo. So that's what I need. I need to get gift cards for Optimo. I need a cool hat to be out here doing this. Ooh. So I can be in the old style where you could have the little piece of paper that was in your hat band that said press. And Greater Cincinnati, Fuzzy. Yeah, Adam, I agree with that, right? It's really highly unlikely. Now, again, it's a greater than zero problem, but it's not a high probability. And it might be something, one of the things that people say, well, why don't you just leave them with the flyer? You gave them the education, they're not going to go in there. One of the things that Scientology is very good about is that if you are down on your luck and you walk in there, you've given them their rune entrance, right? What's the one thing they're always trying to do with every new person they meet? What's your rune? And if they can figure out what your rune is, and the other day we heard that it was somebody had said, I had just lost my girlfriend, right? And I went in and talked to them for a little bit, and I immediately went home, found my girlfriend, we came in, we said, we're gonna go talk to these people. I cannot, sorry, I watched a lot of anti-Scientology channels. I can't remember who that interview was, but that's one of the things that they get you in there. So when they leave the flyer in their purse or in their wallet or in their handbag, my fear is that someday, while they still have that flyer, they're going to lose a girlfriend or lose a family member or lose a job, right? They're going to feel down on their luck and they're going to say, well, let me go explore this. And I don't want that to be anywhere near them as a potential capability for them to say, let me go check out Scientology today. Nothing else is working for me. So there was a question, is my town a political hub? To some degree, right? That New York and, it might be second to New York. Boston, again, is going to be up there. That LA, I'm not sure that it holds the same political cachet, but New York and Chicago are. The way that Illinois works is that the vast majority of Illinois is Republican, so rural Illinois is Republican, urban Illinois is Democratic. I can't remember the last time Chicago would have had a non-Democratic mayor. So it's the political epicenter of Illinois, and it might be considered the political epicenter or at least the financial epicenter of the Midwest. Right? So we have our own stock exchange, we have our own commodities exchange, we have the mercantile exchange, right? So the mercantile is cloth and fabrics, grown fabrics. So cotton, silk, those kinds of things. It used to be a manufacturing hub, right? This was the city of broad shoulders. Now the best you'll see here is light manufacturing and companies that have larger manufacturing processes. They might be headquartered here. Howdy, love Maddie. Great seeing you. Thanks for coming in. And thanks for doing the fast replay or the fast catch up. So it looks like it's lunchtime for one of the shifts of Homeland Security. We are on Dearborn. Now that 7-Eleven, it's kind of a go-to place, just like the Dunkin' Donuts is, and Pat's Pizza and Subway are over on Dearborn Street. This happens to be one of the 7-Eleven is one of the places where they'll come over here and grab their sandwich. Oftentimes, some of the protesters will come over here and we'll have a taco and a cocktail after protesting. We will oftentimes see Scientologists in that restaurant, so Flaco's Tacos. And one thing I want everybody to understand, I do not think that because you allow a Scientologist to buy a meal in your restaurant, that you're pro-Scientology. Right? That you're a business, and if somebody comes in and they have cash, that's fine. And if you have the agnostic transaction with them, kudos to you. You have every right to. I do get worried about some of the rumors that I'm hearing about some of the other places, and I will say it's not a rumor. Paisan's 100% is in bed with Scientology. I don't know if you've ever seen, but every once in a while I'll be able to talk to one of their waitstaff, and as soon as I talk to one of their waitstaff about what's going on next door, immediately management will come out and say, please stop bothering my staff. It doesn't really matter to me because I'm on public property. I can engage whoever I want to, and if they choose not to engage, that's their choice. But there is nothing illegal about me talking to their staff on a public sidewalk. You know, now I actually do want to know who's got this OSA list now. And my thinking is that just because you watch me protesting Scientology doesn't mean you're an OSA. I can't have 100% OSA in here. Is the list literally a list of OSA members, or is it another one of these fun streamer wars issues where we're trying to claim that 25% of the anti-Scientology protesting community is OSA? Fellow Rocks Box. We're heading back over to the org. I have a feeling that Never In, and by the way, a very wise move, not Scientology, DNC activity will start ramping up around 4 o'clock today. And you kind of want to be out of the zone, right? That it's been getting, again, to say dangerous, I think that's wrong. The activity has been ramping up, and it ramps up quicker each day. But I still keep on hearing 1968 comparisons. It's a very pretty green car. And probably Aaron's OSA, right? Or it's just Aaron's fault that we're all OSA. Now, as we head back up to the org, I've been away for maybe 20, 25 minutes. So maybe they've gotten comfortable and they've gone blinds up. Yeah, that's what I thought. Fuzzy, that's what I assumed it was. Thank you. Feels very nice here in the shade today. Yeah, while Aaron's not on the list, it's his fault the list was made, probably. Now we're still, look at that. Nope, not yet, not yet. Come on back down. Almost, almost. Is it okay that you're hiding from the public? So as we go to speed records, I think we're gonna have to look that up. That might be a photo finish with some of my earlier times. I love that. Howdy, Pop Smurf. Folks, when you see me go up in the air, it's because I have a high confidence that it's a civilian coming by and they're not asking to live their lives on camera. It's only the cult of Scientology that I want to make sure that we're protesting against. No, so what was really happening there is, like I had said, I had been away from the org for a little while, and they were feeling confident. So she had just pulled this shade up as I walked up. And I thought it was weird, right, that we only saw the one, this shade was up, right? None of the other shades were up. but this shade was up, and I'm like, oh, I'll bet that they're just not doing it. And right as soon as we poked around the corner, there she was. And yeah, there was the smile, smirk, right? And then kind of the shrugging of the dejected mannerism as well. Hello, Spontamar. Let me give you a little rundown on what we've had today. So we started the day, WanderingNana. She found the bodega that had the flyers in it, but that bodega is closed today. So those flyers are still on the counter, but that storefront is closed today. Then we came down to the org, and Nana had noticed that as soon as I started approaching, she had been out here for 9 or 10 minutes. As soon as I started approaching, they pulled down the shades. We then had an interaction with somebody who had walked out of Scientology, and he had a Way to Happiness book on, with him, and he had the blue Scientology TV booklet with him. Sometimes the back of that blue Scientology TV has a personality test on it. So all good, never in. You did great. Thank you so much. We were able to engage him. He said he came in just because he wanted to have an open mind, and I said, no problem. Could you please read some of the articles on this site? And I gave him my card. So again, we were able to give him some information, and hopefully he'll use that information. A little bit later, we had 2 women come down, and they saw Never End sign. Again, it's important that you have signs out. It's something that slows people down when they want to read it. And when they slowed down to read that, I asked them if they understood what this was. And I was able to give them an education on what this was. Yes, just me, it's the same place, yes. But again, and we went past it later on, and we still saw it's there, right? Sorry, I'm just letting the citizens come by. So the 2 women were able to get an education. You know, I let them know they took a card as well. Then we had an interaction with a black male, and he said, you know, he again looked up there. He was curious what we were doing out here. He looked up there and said, "Hey, do you know what this is?" And he thought it was Nation of Islam because he had been asked in by the people that are Nation of Islam. So whether it's Asada or the other thinner, taller black female, they asked him to come in. And then I kind of gave him an understanding as to why it's so strange that these 2 dying religions would get back together because at their core, one of them doesn't like the other. And we had a little bit more conversation. Lisa McPherson, Serge Del Mar, and he took a flyer and went away. We were also able to follow one of the body routers. Now, he went to the train station, and I think that he actually got on the train, right? And the rationale would be, right, get on the train, go a couple of stops away, get back off. I'm not going to follow people away from the org on the train. It makes me have to be in closed quarters with them, and that just seems to me to be more risk than I should want to be able to take on. The other thing is I'm less concerned the further you get away from here, right? When you get away from the org by a mile, so there's a kid, right? That light blue backpack is the purification rundown. So if you saw, there was a 13-year-old child who had his purification backpack on, right? Because you got to bring on your sauna clothes, and he just went downstairs. The purification rundown or the purification center is downstairs in this organization. As I was saying, when you get further away from the org, you know, I'm gonna go around back real quick. When you get further away from the organization, I think that your flyer is less effective, that it's less likely that somebody's gonna come back and with that flyer all the way to Printers Row. The reason that I try to patrol the area in these few blocks around here is because if you are already walking past the organization, it's less of a burden or less of a barrier for you to walk inside. You know, maybe yes, maybe no. We do know, right, on Easter, those people were coming from farther away. I don't know if they drove in, but the people that we would see at Easter, they were driving in, they were parking, and they were going in. Now, Easter was such a deceptive element, you know. They had their staff members, the ladies were wearing, you know, regular civilian dresses. They had bunny ears on. They were giving out jelly beans. If you remember, Chadwick offered me, there was somebody else here that day. Oh, I remember. It was my friend Jen, who does Windy Wanders the City with me, had offered both of us a bag of jelly beans. But it was, you know, this idea, come and celebrate Easter with us. Well, at no point in Scientology is there any celebration of Easter. This is a, let me draw you in, let me show you how normal we are, and let me get your name and address so that I can keep you on the list forever and continually send you documents and such. Yeah, if you go back to the Easter, and by the way, Easter was early this year, it was March. So I think it was like St. Patrick's Day, something, and then Easter. But if you go back to the Easter one, I approached the org from the back alley and the door was open and you could see several children running around kind of like playing tag inside the org when I was back there. And there were no adults. You saw no adults in that. You just saw these younger children kind of, again, playing in the storefront. And then we saw so many parents with young children walk up to the org because, again, it's sort of like, let's go to the mall and get our picture with the Easter Bunny. It was, let's go to Scientology and get our picture with the Easter Bunny. And that would have been, I don't have that flyer, but my expectation is that there would have been flyers going out in the area. Yeah, Janelle, that's right. If you just want to get in the van real quick, I've got some candy and we're going to go down by the riverside and we'll park for a little bit. We'll go take in the nature down there. Yeah, 100%. It's absolutely child abuse when they're talking about the purification rundown. That an adult, it weakens an adult to be in a sauna that much. It absolutely weakens a child to be in a sauna that much, and especially when you think about it, it's their developmental ages, right? So the brain's still forming, right? The brain's still getting larger at that point in your life. Joints are still getting larger, are getting stronger. Sorry. Folks, I'm just kind of glancing back here at the, hey, Mena, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. What I'm going to do is I'll walk around the building, you know, give them their 10 minutes. Wait. Helgeir. It sounds like Helgeir was saying that she saw somebody miles away. Was that today? Oh, on the train station on Sunday. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I saw Never Ended asked the question, why is Chad carrying that big bottle of water? There is, well, if you are taking ice and you want to be able to flush that through quickly, so he might be on a pure rundown again, but there are plenty of diets out there, right, that are high hydration diets, right, that I am not a medical professional, I'm not a nutritionist, but I will say that it's important that you have a lot of hydration, and then at night, that's what helps get into your body and clean your cells out of all kinds of crap. And the more water you have, the more garbage can be thrown out every night in that space. So him and earlier today, right, we saw a male in the blue silver vest. He does that quite a bit as well. So he will also has like a 1 gallon or a half gallon jug of water that he carries around with him. Love Maddie, if you can send me whatever that advertisement was in, if you could send me a link to it, if it wasn't a hard copy. Sorry, I just wanted to back up onto the street to see if I could look all the way down there. Hey folks, thank you all for being in here, really appreciate that. They do have like a small gymnasium, because you will see part of the Purif is also to, like when I was in high school, the wrestlers would always walk around. So this is a dumpster, but I think it's a grease dumpster, and it's not this is not the waste company that Scientology has. Sorry, but right, the wrestlers, in order to cut weight on weigh-in day, would walk around school in their gym bags so that they would just consistently sweat and drop weight all day long, waiting until they got their weigh-in, and then they would binge eat and rehydrate and push that weight back up. By the way, not a safe thing to do, but nope, I'm seeing another Scientologist walking in. See you, D, thanks for being here. Yeah, I just saw another Scientologist walk in. What I think I'm going to do is I am going to walk down there. Howdy, Dave. Great seeing you. Had a fairly productive day. There were 5 or 6 notable encounters or findings, so that's been helpful. I'm going to head down there one more time. So one of the more enjoyable things was I had been away from the org for about 20 minutes, and they were just putting up one of the 5 shades, and having gotten the first shade up, I popped around the corner again, and she kind of smiled at me and pulled the shades down again. Yeah, Amy was noting, right, that there's some thermoregulatory problems with that. The idea that you also will get dehydration, so thermoregulatory as well as hydroregulatory issues when you're in a sauna. There are plenty of people that do things like they will pass out or have fainting spells in a sauna, right? It's one of the reasons why even on hot, humid days that people are at risk of fainting and having spells at that point in time. All right, folks, we're coming up on 2 o'clock. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go grab myself some food. I am going to hydrate, get myself some water, and I am going to head over to Windy Wanders. But I'll probably take about a half hour or so before I get up on Windy Wanders. And I want to open up Windy Wanders over by Union Park, which has been the American Academy of Pediatrics. Yeah, I agree, right? Well, how do we get, I don't know how to get in front of the American Academy of Pediatrics. I would say that if anybody knows how to create letter writing campaigns or anything of that nature, that would be awesome. Sorry, as I was saying, I'm probably going to take about 30 minutes off, and then I'm going to come back up on Wendy Wanders the City. So if you're not a member over there, please consider going over there and subscribing. But as we finish up here, are there any raid candidates for us? Thank you, Rachel. Thanks, Helgir. Thanks, Twyla. Thanks, Spantamar. Oh, so safe pointing. Safe pointing is when they bring in influencers, politicians, police, the fire, community members, and they'll tell them the shore story about what a great place they are. They'll also do things like, in the case of if they need a quid pro quo reaction or exchange, what they might do is they'll sponsor a trophy in a little league after a police officer's name. And that way, what it's doing is whenever that police officer gets the call to come to Scientology, they start out with a bit of a bias, right? So, and it's safe pointing, there's a big arc of elements that will take place there, right? We saw the Nation of Islam and Kwale Kwaza. He drew Larry Snelling, who's the superintendent. In Chicago, the police officer called the superintendent, he's the top cop. That's, you know, the chief of police, right? Early on, right, on that first or second week of Scientology being open here, I was able to watch him draw Larry Snelling in, and that would have been a safe pointing session, right? So it's the idea of you use those false good things that you do in the neighborhood, or you actually spend money, all right, on them or something they believe in, like donate in their name or donate to a cause they want. Again, do a trophy on a little league team, those kinds of things. So all of that is safe pointing. All right. Now, as I was jib-jabbering, I didn't see if we found a candidate. All right, we're heading over to Tilty Bird. Folks, let's head over to Tilty Bird. I will see you over there, and I'm going to go charge up my equipment and grab some lunch. Thanks, everybody.